We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, a different heritage, biased and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll and the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pops on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. I see the rising sun from Africa. Oh, this is time of victory. Oh, yeah. I see future in Africa. Oh yeah, people of Biafra. See light shining on the world. Oh yeah.
What's that, Martin? We're not fighting each other. We know where we're going. We're going to get there. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. If I'm alive, if I'm dead, if I'm wherever I may be, Biafra will come. If I'm dead, it's even better because it will come far more quicker. I can assure you. If Biafra is fighting for you, no one will touch your property. If you're fighting alone, you're bound to lose it. So Biafra is the best. We will become the 16th member country of ECOWAS. If Nigeria doesn't release those properties, then we'll take them to court and we'll get them back. even twice the value. The Jews had investments all over the world. Most of the priceless artifacts and paintings belonged to many families in Germany. It was stolen by the Nazi Party. Do you know that? Eventually they got everything back with compensation on top of it. That's what we're going to do. If you touch our investments, we'll come back for you. And we'll know where we can get it from. So there is nothing for anyone to worry about. It's only if I'm not stopping you from being a Nigerian, if you are born on the streets of Lagos and you want to be a Lagosian and your name is Adamma, oh, well and good. There's no problem.
Onye si na-akata anya ahụhụ ma ọ bụ na anyị fee arụsị anyị wee na-efe arụsị igwe were iwe gị na ọmụma gị wee bịa leta anyị ụmụ anyị wee na-anwụsị ụfọdụ nọ n'ụzọ ije ha anaghị alọta ụlọ ọzọ nne na nna wee na-ata ahụhụ wee na-ata ikikere eze nwaanyị kunye ka ọ gaa ubi gaa rụọ ọrụ Fulani chiri ehi bata ebe ala gị n'iyi okwu ebepụ ya isi anyị pụta anyị kpọpụ onye nwe anyị n'ugwu Awụsa ahụ ejide anyị wee gbuo ihe ọ bụla anyị mara aka n'ime ha si maka ha aga n'ihu elekwa ọdụ ụgbọ mmiri n'igwe ọcha bụ ememiri ọya nke dị na Kalaba otu aka ahụ anyị na-ala nsọ ebe Biafra bụ ndị kọstọm sokwenye anyị n'etiti anyị anọghị n'ime mmiri kama kọstọm juru ebe niile ha wee na-ata anyị ahụhụ anyị kwuo sịpụta anyị ka kpọchie anyị kwuo ekwa sịpụta anyị ka gbagbuo anyị onye nwe anyị na Chineke na nke bi n'igwe ọ bụ ụzọ dị anya ka isi na-ekwu ndị iro anyị anya wee karịa ndị nke gị akwa anyị bụ ụmụ Chineke akwa ọba aha anyị ka anyị na-aza akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza ike Chukwu akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza amara Chineke akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chisom akwa ọba anyị nwe na-aza Chizoba nna nke dị nsọ onye ime eluigwe dịka otu onye iro dị na anyị bụ ụmụ gị bịa ka iwe zọpụta anyị bịa ka iwe napụta anyị n'aka ọjọọ ihe bịa ka iwe lụọrọ anyị ọgụ bịa ka iwe dịtụ ozu ọgbọgọwa memilere Goliath Chineke nna nke igwe ruo memile Fero site otu a mee ka Fero ka ọ guzo n'ihu ụmụ ndị anyị ga-ebi ka o wee taa akọkọ igiri ọtọ ọzọ ị ga na-edu anyị n'ụzọ niile nke ezi omume ọ bụla adịghị na anyị na-aga ndagwurugwu onyinye ọnwụ ọ bụ nwa bụ ekekere n'igwe n'ụwa onye ọbụla kere gị n'oge mmalite n'oge ọgwụgwụ kama anyị onwe anyị gwa anọkwa ahụ ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ n'ezie kama ma akpọ na okwu gị na-anọgide ego mgbe ebighị ebi ọ bụ ya mere anyị ji were gị n'anya isi anyị wee na-asị nna nke dị nsọ bịa ka iwe gosi anyị Biafra na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ bịa ka iwe na-ekebe gị na amara gị wee kpuchiri anyị ka uwe bịa ka iwe zọpụta ndị nke gị bịa ka iwe mee ka Biafra wee bịa ka anyị na-ewetụta na nsọpụrụ na ịja mma site n'aha gị onye bụ Chukwu abịa ma
Welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very evening program. I appreciate everyone that have connected wherever you are connecting from. I thank you for being part of this program. I wish every one of you a very happy Sunday. It is Sunday today, and a time that people go about their businesses, people get themselves busy with one thing or the other, but we don't have a holiday as far as this very struggle is concerned. I can see my beloved sister, Mazi Akere. Thank you so much, my beloved sister, Mazi. I appreciate you so much for always being there. You've been one of those people who are very, very consistent and knows what you want. I appreciate you, my sister. And I pray may Chukwu Kukabiyama continue to guide and protect you. So everyone that have joined me today on this very Sunday sermon, I appreciate everyone for joining. It is a special Sunday sermon. As always, you know, we have the responsibility to continue to encourage Biafrans, to continue to make our contributions where necessary. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how hard it is, we will continue to speak. Even if it is one or two people we can be able to reach out to, it will go a long way to make a difference. When I talk to one person, that one person will talk to another, the other person will talk to another. Before you know it, the information will get everywhere. So in this awareness creating, everybody is important, including you that is watching me out there. You are important. That is why whenever you join my program, please like the program and share it. When you like the program, you are actually encouraging the algorithm to invite others to join. And when you share, you never can tell. Maybe through your own sharing, somebody can be awakened. Maybe through your own sharing, somebody can be encouraged. Maybe through your own sharing, those we want to speak to can hear us. Our information here is not just to Biafrans, not just to Nigerians, but to international community. That is what we do to make sure they hear us, because we can't be silent. You know, there was a time when we had a very loud voice, like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa. When they were there, their voice was very loud that you can't cover it. It doesn't matter how you try, you can never cover their mouth. And no matter how you deny the reality, it continues to stare you at your face. So, but now we don't have that media coverage. We don't have that media power like we have then. So that is why everybody now need to go to work. No matter how little, just continue to do what you know is best. And as I have always said, you have the right to be in any group you want to be. You have the right of freedom of association. That is one of the things that the Biafran people signed on to. Freedom of association. You are entitled to associate with anybody. You are entitled to be in any group. But the most important thing you must do is that wherever you are, make sure the unity of purpose is there. The Biafran unity of purpose. The Biafran unity of purpose is nothing but the pursuit of self-determination. That is our goal. Pursuit of self-determination. Any group where you are, make sure that is your focus. But as for where you will be and how you want to be there, it is your own business. You are entitled to whatever you want to do. You are entitled to express yourself the way you want to. You are entitled to be in any group you decide to be into. Nobody is going to push you away and say, oh, you must not do this, you do that. No, that is not why we are here. The main purpose why I anchor program every day is to give people the opportunity to express themselves. I give people opportunity to express themselves. You must not agree with me all the time. You must not agree with me every time. You can have your own opinion, and you are entitled to your opinion. The same way I am entitled to my opinion here. Even though I am the one handling this platform, I have my own opinion. And you that is watching me have your opinion, and you're entitled to it. My purpose of coming online every day is not to cajole anybody or to muzzle anybody to believe me by fire by force. No. It is to make you to think more, make you to reason more, make you to look into some other perspectives. You might have a different perspective with what I have in mind. There is nothing bad about it. But we must learn to appreciate each other and understand the differences that we have. Those differences must be there. There is never a time that we will be in the same group. There's never a time we will have the same opinion. Opinion might differ, but when it comes to purpose, let our purpose be one. The reason for which we gather in different sections and different groups, let it be one. Self-determination, the freedom of the Biafran people. So I appreciate everyone that has connected wherever you have connected from. Thank you so much for joining. And this very Sunday sermon, we are going to touch so many things that have happened within the week. A lot has happened, and more is happening. A lot has happened. More is happening. But the most painful one is the one that is hurting our struggle. One of the most dangerous things that is heartbreaking is the sabotage of Biafra struggle by the Biafrans themselves. That is the most heartbreaking. That every day I come online, I speak about it, I touch that very topic because it is the most devastating thing we are facing today. And every blessed day we see that those who have sold their soul to the devil, they are not relenting. Even when you think they are going to stop, they increase their force, they increase their lies, they increase their propaganda. I don't know what they think when they come online, they open up, put on their camera, and knowing fully well that the whole world is watching them, you sit back and you are destroying the same thing you claim to build. The battle that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have fought for many decades, going to 2 decades now. And today he's facing life sentence because of this self-determination. Mazi Simon Ekpa fought for this purpose. And today he's facing jail time in Finland. And yet, you think it is right for you to come and begin to castigate them. I don't care the way they are doing it, even if they are not doing it right, which everybody cannot be 100% correct. Even if they are not doing it right in one way or the other, nobody can be excellent. Even if you are being given the chance to rule, you cannot do better than they did. You can't. If you are given this power you are looking for, you cannot do even 1/4 of what they did. So I don't know how you think that coming online to insult the leader, the face of the struggle, you think is all right. To on your camera and you insult the face of the struggle. No sensible person will do that. But every blessed day, I see a very dangerous move that the government of Nigeria have started. And that is why Nigerian government today have relaxed. I bet you that Nigerian government is not facing any challenge today in terms of issue of Biafra. They have succeeded in making us to war against ourselves. They have succeeded in driving our attention to the main purpose. And today we are focusing on irrelevant issues. More especially, the paid agents that have paid, Igbo people that speak Igbo, that we are paid only to castigate and destroy the image of the struggle. More especially, that woman they call Nneka Chimezie. The woman is bent on destroying herself, not Biafra. Nneka Chimezie is bent on destroying herself, not Biafra. I just saw some clip where she was interviewed, the one that said that she's the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A very shameful interview. I couldn't even watch it. I couldn't even watch it to hear what they are saying. But it's shameful. This was what happened when Mazi Ekpa warned this woman, don't go and face the interview of the DOS on the Biafra. Don't. It is better you remain silent. Don't even participate. Don't put your mouth in it. Because whatever you said there will be used against your own husband. Whatever you say will be used against you. She neglected that advice. She went to the DOS and they used her to campaign against Mazi Nnamdi, and they used her to fight against Mazi Nnamdi, and they are still using her up to this minute as we speak. I couldn't watch the interview, but in that interview, the few words I see, you see how she was in the public, disgracing her husband in the public. She was in the public, disgracing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, talking down on the family. You think that when you talk down on Mazi, the family of Mazi, you think that you're talking about the family. You are not talking about his brothers and sisters. You are talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Every single insult you give on the family, you are giving it to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The reason today we keep silent on certain issues is because of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Just like when Mazi Samuel was around. Mazi Samuel, when he was around, he stopped us. He stopped us from challenging this woman. I remember in most cases when he came, he said, we should not speak about her, no matter what happened. That we don't have right to speak about her. That when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out, he will handle the issue. But this woman continued to push Mazi Samuel, continued to push, attack. All to the extent of calling Mazi Samuel name, and Mazi Samuel gave a word on her. And that broadcast was done only once. And he neglected her and continued to forge ahead. And today, in the absence of Mazi Samuel, she have risen again. They invited her, using her to speak ill of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know why any sensible person will go and grant an interview to people you know that their plan is to bring your husband down. The plan of Nneka is not hidden. It is in the open. It is in the open. The only thing Lord Nneka is doing today is to discredit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that was why she invited the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to show the people the inability of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to run his family. How can he now run Biafra? That is why they brought that woman. In everything they were saying, they were trying to portray Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as somebody who does not have control of his family. They were presenting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as somebody who doesn't have a word of his own. That was the mission. That was the main reason that woman was brought on that very program. There is no other reason. The only reason Lolo Neka interviewed the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is to discredit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The same mission that she was paid for. And the woman came and just was playing to the gallery. She was playing to the gallery, talking down, including the late parents of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. She brought even the late parents on the picture because she started right from 2015, begin to tell history of something that many of us did not know. It is a shame. It is a very big shame. And when I was watching them, I couldn't even watch the program. I couldn't be able to watch. It is so shocking and very shameful. This is a woman that the husband is serving life sentence. You claim to be the wife, and you claim to have every right. And we have not seen you go to Sokoto to meet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu face-to-face. Who on earth? We know our culture as Igbos. We know how the Igbos behave. And we know how educated person should behave. For somebody, an educated woman that you claim, to say that the brothers of your husband stopped you from reaching him, blocked you from reaching him, it means you are not woman enough. You don't know your role as a woman. It means you do not know your role as a woman. Because if you know there is no how a brother family of your husband in this recent age and world that we're in will stop you from being in the front line of the case of your husband. The only reason it will happen is that your husband doesn't have faith in you. Your husband doesn't have faith in you. And it doesn't just happen. Any man that has faith in his wife, any man that cannot be alive while you are alive. While you are alive, people will bar your wife from coming to you. Your family, even your mother or your father cannot bar your wife from coming to you. The only reason they will bar it is because the woman is toxic and dangerous. That is why they will stop her from coming. And the husband has given that permission. Only the permission from the husband. Because we know our culture. We know Igbo culture. We know Igbo culture. The wife of the wife in this present age, the wife have with the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, with the position of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, she has an extreme right. The only thing that will deny her her right is because her husband said so, for a good reason, known to people and known to the family. That is why he will be silent. So when she come online and begin to paint the picture that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was turned against her, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu they stopped her from seeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they are barricading her, the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is only because your husband does not have any trust in you. In the actual sense of it, the wife should be the first confidence of the man. Once a man is married, the wife should be the first confidence. And when they paint this picture, they are only trying to tell us and make us believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not man enough to take his decision. This is the picture Nneka is painting with the DOS. The picture they are trying to paint to the world is to show the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not man enough to take a decision and manage his family. Then how can he manage the Biafra struggle? Which is the mission of Lord Nneka. You see her, she has been shouting, why must Mazi Nnamdi Kanu give order? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not the only one in IPOB. He's not the one that creates IPOB. It's not because of him. There are so many other people. When you listen to her, when you don't listen to her program in whole, if you are just somebody who watch and run away, you won't understand. That woman has a great mission, and the government of Nigeria paid her very well. They paid her to the extent that they made a chance for her in VOP. She goes to BAP time and time to broadcast against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But to this level she has gone is the highest of all. Bringing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wife, acclaimed wife, because she can't be the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I can't see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu coming out to have anything to do with her. We know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is irritation. There's so many things he cannot say. But I don't see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu coming out to continue with that woman. We know what happened to Mandela and Winnie Mandela. When Mandela came out from prison, we know what happened. For that woman to give herself to be used to blackmail our supreme leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in the public, at this time that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing a life sentence, in a time that the international communities are looking into the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then his wife will sit in one corner with somebody who claimed to be interviewing her. And what she does is to denigrate the image of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to tear the respect that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had apart, to tell the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a man enough to guide his family. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not man enough to take his own decision. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being controlled. The supreme leader of IPU, Mazi Nnamdi, is being controlled. You are a joker. You are a joker. Only an idiot and a mad person will believe that nonsense. The supreme leader of IPOB that we all know is a man of his word. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not a coward, has never been a coward. This was a man who put the life of his parents on the line for Biafra. He put the entire family at risk for Biafra and lost his mother and his father. That is the man you are coming to let us know that he can't be able to take decision on his own. You are telling me that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu doesn't know the wife he married. You are telling me that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu all of a sudden does not know the woman he married. That the lawyers and the brothers are the one controlling. They buy you, they block you, they do the. This is just I can't understand it. I can't understand it. That the lawyers block you. The lawyers block you from coming to court when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has court. The lawyers block you to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto. When you go there, they don't allow you to go and see him. The brothers and sisters, they block you, you cannot go and see him. Your own husband. And your husband that trusts you will not give an order that he wants to see his wife. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu isn't a coward. He has a mission, and not a million of you can stop him. The only reason he distanced himself from that woman is because he has seen that she's not genuine. She is working for the federal government of Nigeria and Sokoto. And when we are talking about the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it has so many branches, and a lot of things will be revealed when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out. I believe he'll come out. But I pity this woman that calls herself Nneka. I pity her because she's digging her own grave. She's digging her own grave. That woman is in the front line of destroying the image of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. She is on the front line, on the front seat. The few of the interview I watched, the way she was responding and the kind of questions she was asking, the target was to destroy the personality of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That you and I know. Is it the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who know and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That he cannot take decision on his own. He is being controlled by his brothers and sisters. The brothers and sisters are the one telling him what to do. Your own husband, the person you call your husband, and you call yourself educated, an Igbo woman, and you were barred from coming close to him, and you think he's not married. We know our culture, and we know what family is to us. Family is number one when it comes to the Igbo people. Your immediate family, they always have that responsibility to protect you. And when you see a family barring a woman to this level, when the man is still alive, there is every tendency, there's an information that man, husband has, that the other person has. A family issue that nobody can be able to unravel until the husband comes out. Are you telling me that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot call his wife to come and see him? A woman that has his children, with the level of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you think he doesn't know what to say? That if she's clean and pure, that he will not call for her. All of a sudden, you come online, you want us to believe that our superior leader can no longer take decision. It is a shame, a very big shame. And I never pray to see today happen. But what are we going to do? When I see them, these members of Department of Sabotage, the DOS, when I see this Lord Lake and her evil, and so many other of them in the media, when I see them, I shed tears. I cover myself in shame. I begin to ask, is this still the same people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was fighting for? The same people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu regarded as a family? The same people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu addressed and said, we are white and whiter than white. Are they still these people we are seeing? It is a shame. A very big shame. Now you see the result of the arrest of Mazi Ekpa. You see what Mazi Ekpa was preventing while he was here. And the Nigerian government knew very well. They knew the important position that Mazi Ekpa occupied. Why Mazi Ekpa was here? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was more or less resting. He was more or less resting. This kind of attack was not on him. This kind of pressure we have today was not a Mazi Nnamdi. He was more or less resting. But immediately they succeeded in taking Mazi Ekpa from the picture. They started all their plan. The plan they wanted to carry out in 2021. Mazi Ekpa hold them ransom and they suspended it on 2024. After they took Mazi Ekpa out, they started all those attacks. Look at what is happening today. Look at what is happening today. It is so sad. So sad. So sad. I can't believe when I hear her, I can't believe what I was seeing. Even from the way she was narrating, you can understand that there is no responsible woman, no matter what the family of your husband have done, no matter their anger, no responsible. In the condition that your husband, you will go and grant an interview that was meant to destroy the reputation and the image of your husband. You go and grant an interview to satisfy the enemy of that is the most dangerous aspect. Every single person she's dining and whining with are the people that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu don't want to associate with. The people that you are not trying to make me believe that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can no longer take a decision on himself. Is it the same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu we saw in the court that was speaking in the court? The Mazi Nnamdi Kanu we saw in the court speaking out. And all those times he was coming to court. What stopped her from coming to meet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? So when you come to court of your husband, as the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when you come to court, the police will say, did we ever hear that you came to court and they said don't enter? Did we ever hear anybody? I want everybody in this program, tell me, have you ever had any report that the wife of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to court to see her husband, didn't have a court appearance, and the police stopped her from going to see her husband? Did you ever hear that? Since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto, have you ever heard that she went to Sokoto to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and she was stopped? And when I saw that interview, it was like that interview. I don't know whether is it she that traveled to Nigeria or Lord Neck and went to UK to go and see her. I don't know because I don't want to know. But when I saw them, it's not as if it was not as if it's a Zoom, the one I saw. It's like they were sitting in the same place, which means it's either one of them who have visited each other. But when it comes to the issue of going to see your husband, you say they barred you, they stopped you, they blocked you. The only reason your husband does not want to see you is because he has seen that you are the source of the problem. You are the source of the problem. And it's only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that can open his mouth and tell us what we need to know. That was why even when you were talking your rubbish, Mazi Simon Ekpa told us, don't attack her, leave her alone. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will put a nail on it. Mazi Simon Ekpa didn't attack her. She was calling Mazi Simon Ekpa name, calling her him different kind of a thing, attacking. It's only once that Mazi Simon responded to her once. And he told us, don't attack her, don't. He stopped us from responding to her in the media. Well, look at what she's doing here and there, jumping from one place to the other. The same woman that could not be able to grant interview to the BBC or national media in respect to the situation of her husband. How many times have you seen her granting interview to media networks on the husband issue? How many times? Only to go to mushroom blackmailer. Nneka. You go to Nneka Chimezie, the blackmailer, and she's interviewing you to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The only picture she wants to paint to Biafrans is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not man enough. But I tell you, every single one of us that is genuinely following Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows who Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is. Even if you're not, when you watch the program of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu only once, you understand the kind of person he is. The same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu we see in court representing himself. Is it the same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that you are trying to let us know that he's not man enough? He can't take decision on himself. Is it the same Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who was defending himself in the court at these last stages? That you want to tell us that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cannot take decisions? That it is someone that is removing him and controlling him. This truth is not far-fetched. But I pray that our supreme leader will be here as soon as possible. I pray that our supreme leader will be alive and here and tell us the story. Now, when we talk about the kidnap of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and what he went through, it is not far-fetched. And when you go and listen to the program, what do they call him? The man they call prophet. I've forgotten that prophet, whatever they call him. If you go and check the program, the master prophet, go and check the program of master prophet did about that woman. When you check the program that master prophet did about this woman, you begin to understand that there is evidence of truth in it. With her attitude and character that we have seen, with the things she is doing today, and the kind of group of people she's dining and whining with. When you listen to the program Master Prophet did about her, you begin to understand that there is truth in it. You begin to understand that there is truth in it. So, my fellow Biafrans, it does not matter what you hear. It does not matter what you see. I beg you in the name of Chukwu Gabiam, do not relent in doing what you need to do. Do not relent in doing what you need to do. Make sure you remain consistent and continue to pursue your freedom. Don't relent. Continue to be consistent in whatever you are doing. The genuine Biafrans cannot be distracted. The genuine Biafrans cannot be deceived. Genuine Biafrans cannot be bullied. Their target is to distract you and divert your attention from the real issue. But I tell you, for you to change the mind of the Biafrans against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a mission impossible. You can't succeed. You can never ever succeed in such. Changing the mission, the mind of Biafrans against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an impossible mission, and you can never ever succeed, no matter how you try. It is sad, but that is where we found ourselves today. That today, even the government are relaxing, and the Biafran people have taken upon themselves the contract of destroying the struggle. The people that are fighting day in, day out to see that this struggle does not succeed are the same people who are supposed to be free. The same people who freedom is meant for. They are the one today that is going against the freedom. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you to stay strong, no matter the challenges that we will all be facing, no matter all the attack and distraction that is going to be coming from east, west, north, and south. A lot of things are going to be happening, but I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okike, don't get distracted. So this evening, when you look at the topic we are discussing, the said Biafra Sunday Sermon, the world must act now, or history will judge. The world must act now, or history will judge. I welcome every one of you once again. A lot is happening. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to make you happy or make you angry. I'm here to sound an alarm, as I have always done. An alarm about a nation standing at a very dangerous crossroad. An alarm about lives, about justice, and about a future that is becoming more uncertain by the day. We must continue to speak. The self-determination of Biafran people is the only solution to Nigeria. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. You see the rate of killing that is happening in Nigeria. It is not going to get any time better. It is not going to get better. If you are dreaming and think it's going to get better, no, it will not. Because what is happening in Nigeria today is no longer something we can afford to ignore. The situation of the contraption called Nigeria can no longer be ignored. If we continue to look away, if we continue to remain silent, we may wake up one day to a reality we can no longer fix. We are approaching to that time when we wake up and we realize that we can no longer fix the situation. That is where we are now. But some people are still pretending that all is well. They do not want to address the issue. Instead, they keep on entertaining you, telling you sweet words. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share demands your attention. What we are about to hear today demands your own attention. Nigeria is a nation of immense potential, that we know. There are many genuine and intelligent people caged in that contraption called Nigeria. Wonderful cultures, resources, and strength, caged by the British. But at the same time, a nation deeply challenged by insecurity, distrust, and division. The order of the day in Nigeria is insecurity. And there is no need to paint it away. And it's not getting any better. It is getting worse by day. It is getting worse every day. So many of you must have heard and seen what happened in Mali. You see how Mali people responded. You see how Mali military responded and crushed them once and for all. Not just they crushed, they show evidence. You saw the videos of thousands of people who were caught. The terrorists, they were caught red-handed. That is how a country that is serious operates. Not Nigeria. Across different regions, community have raised concern about safety, marginalization, and survival. This cry has continued to come every single day with no solution. Families are grieving. How long are we going to continue to pay attention to this madness? How long? How long are we going to pretend that all is well when we know that everything is not all right? Wherever you are watching this program from, my brothers and sisters, we need to wake up from our sleep and take more action. We need to be more serious because it seems like we are playing with the situation. The world is waiting on us. The world is waiting on us. What is happening in Nigeria today is no longer something we can ignore. Never. It is not something that any sensible or reasonable human being can ignore. It is not something anybody can hide. You can't hide it, no matter how you try. And it is no longer something that we should pretend not to see. But somehow, the zoo, they are trying to hide it, but they can't hide it. And the world is pretending they are not seeing it. And it's staring at them. You can't pretend. You can't pretend about what is happening in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. No matter how you try to run away, you cannot. You cannot. I speak today on 3 urgent matters. 3 urgent matters that must be looked into. The ongoing crisis and the suffering in the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. The call for Biafra self-determination and the demand for justice, including the release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Ekpa. This is not a message of hate, as I always say. It is a message of truth, a message of unity, not a message of division. This is a message of survival. And when you are listening to our message, pay attention, listen with an open heart. Forget about your hatred, forget about your personal greed and personal gratification. Pay attention to the world. It's not about me. This is about our collective interests and our life as human. Across different parts of Nigeria today, there are various serious concerns about violence, loss of innocent lives. Every single day, this concern is everywhere. You can see evidence on their media. You can see evidence in their news. Communities are living in fear. Families are being displaced constantly. Voices are being silenced. And many people are asking, where is justice? Where is protection? Where is accountability? That is the question that is begging for an answer. These are not political questions. They are human questions. And when human lives are at stake, silence becomes very dangerous. That is why we're calling on the international community to do something and do it fast. We are calling on the United States of America, do something and do it fast. Delay is dangerous. And the more you continue to delay, the more the life of the people will be exposed to danger. Delay is very, very dangerous. As people of faith, we must ask ourselves, what is our responsibility in time like this? What is our responsibility? The scripture reminds us that righteousness exalts a nation, but injustice brings pain and suffering. That is what the Bible says. The big prophets you have in Nigeria, all your GO, do they read this scripture? Do they see this portion of the Bible? How many of them preach about this in their churches today? How many of them called out the atrocities against the Christians in Nigeria today in their churches? They are so scared, so afraid. They don't want to lose members. They don't want to lose their church. They don't want to lose their grant. But remember, the scripture reminds us that righteousness exalts a nation, but injustice brings pain and suffering. When people cry out for help, we must not turn away. When truth is uncomfortable, we must not bury it. But today, even the church is helping them to bury the truth. The church is actively helping the enemy to bury the truth, including the truth about the Christian genocide. General overseers, pastors are helping them to bury the truth. How many of them spoke about it in their churches today? How many have been speaking? They are silent. Because history has shown us again and again that silence in the face of suffering only allows it to grow. Silence in the face of suffering only allows it to grow. Today, we are not only speaking to ourselves, we are speaking to the world, the governments, to human rights organizations across the world, to global leaders. We ask, are you watching? Are you listening? Are you willing to act? Because when situation escalates without intervention, the consequence can affect generation unborn. This is why we are not silent. Because the consequence of this silence is going to affect generation unborn. That is why everybody must continue to speak and shout the best way you can. If you can shout, shout. If you can cry, cry. Whatever you can do it. Now that you still have the time. This is why many are calling for greater international attention. Mediate for peace and justice. That is what we're asking for. We are not asking for war. We are not calling for the head of anybody. But we are asking for peace and justice. The oppressed, more especially the Biafrans, the Christians, they deserve justice. Now let us talk about Biafra. The call for self-determination is not new. It is rooted in history, identity, and the desire for safety and dignity. That is why we are asking for Biafra. Around the world, people have sought ways to determine their own fate. It didn't start with us. And the key word here is peacefully. I have said it over and over again. All we are calling for is a peaceful disintegration of Nigeria. A peaceful breakup so that countries can be created along value system and people will be on their own. Self-determination is about dialogue. It is about lawful expression. It is about giving people a voice. That is what self-determination is all about. So when we talk about self-determination, we are not calling for war. The enemies only make it look like that to discourage people from paying attention. But in fact, that is the most peaceful and democratic way to air your opinion. The question remains, can people express their aspiration without fear? Can people express their aspiration without fear in the contraption called Nigeria? Because when voices are suppressed, tensions increase. But when dialogue is allowed, solution becomes possible. But from every indication in Nigeria, solution is impossible. Solution seems impossible in the case of Nigeria. The international community should come in. And the only solution that is legitimate and that people can look up and say, yes, it's going to work. It has been tested and trusted and tried and it worked. Disintegration of Nigeria. Great country along value system. There are ongoing concerns about the detention and legal process in figures connected to this very movement. As you know, in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you saw how the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was done. Tried with non-existing law. Recently, you saw Mike Arnold mentioned it in DC, watching DC when he was making a statement. These are people who has worked on a very top level of the government. So they can't come and just say a word because they want to say it. These are people who have served within the government and they know how to put their case. So when they speak, their word have weight. You know, when we come online and say, people say, oh, we are just making claims. But when you see people like Mike Arnold come in Washington, D.C. to give a speech of that magnitude, you understand that we are the right path. And many people are asking, is justice being followed? Are legal rights being respected? Is due process being upheld? Of course, the answer is no. In the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even in the case of Mazi Ekpa, his evidence was rejected by the prosecutor. They could not admit not even one evidence from Mazi Ekpa against the Nigerian government when we have thousands and thousands of evidence. But they refused to admit it because he did not have a proper representation, because his right was not respected by the Finnish authorities, by the Finnish court. And on the 5th of August, we are going back to court to challenge that on the appeal. And by the special grace of Chukwu, the international lawyers are going to do a great job. It will be a different outcome. With the evidence at hand, it will definitely be a different outcome. So Mazi Ekpa is coming home very soon. Many people are asking, is justice being followed? Are legal rights being respected? Is due process being upheld? That is the question many are asking. Justice must not only be done, it must be seen to be done. When we talk about justice, justice must not only be done, it must be seen by everybody to be done. Did you see justice in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Did you see justice in the case of Mazi Ekpa? People who were fighting for self-determination, that we know that is a right. It's a right, not a privilege. They have been sentenced for that, convicted for self-determination, simply because they are Biafrans. Well, we shall see to the end. Because when trust in justice is shaken, the entire system is affected. The entire system is affected. Let me say this clearly. This is not about division. This is not about dignity. It's not just about, we are not just waking up to come and say, okay, divine. There are reasons why we are saying what we are saying. It is to save life, because the life of people is in danger, to save humanity. So it is not just about division. It is about dignity, the dignity of the people. That's what we're talking about. It's not about conflict. This is about humanity. We are talking about humanity, in case you don't know. And this is not about the past. This is about the future. We are talking about our future as Biafrans. That is why we are doing what we are doing. That is why we are shouting, we are talking, we are coming online day in, day out. A future where people can live without fear. Communities can thrive in peace, and justice is not selective. That is why we are crying every day. That is why we are shouting every day. And we will continue to cry and we will continue to shout until our voice is heard. So what are we going to do? What must we do? We must continue to speak. Every one of us, as you are in this platform, continue to share the program, like and share the program. Continue to speak in your own terms, in your own way. Write something in your platform. Express yourself on the comment section. Say your own feeling. The world is watching and they are reading. Don't think that nobody is watching. They are watching and they are reading. Not only Biafra, even non-Biafrans are watching. So we must continue to speak and speak the truth. We must continue to speak the truth. We must promote peace. We must support justice at all times. And we must ensure that conversation continue, not with violence, but with wisdom and responsibility. We must continue the conversation, not with violence, but with wisdom and responsibility. To everyone watching, your voice matters. Your awareness matters. Your action matters. Don't say it doesn't concern you. It concerns you a lot. So, my fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, the battle before us is a battle that we must win. It's a battle that we must pay attention to. Nigeria can continue to say whatever they are saying. We have not done anything wrong against Nigeria. It is Nigeria that is coming against us, destroying our lives and properties, killing our brothers and sisters, enslaving us on a daily basis. At the same time, they don't want us to talk or complain, and the world is watching. It is sad. It is a very, very sad situation. But we must continue. And I bet you Nigeria will never go free. Nigeria will never go scot-free. That I assure you. No matter how they continue to do all their mago they are doing, they will never go scot-free. We definitely pay them back in their own coin. The only thing we need to do as Biafrans is to remain consistent. Wherever you are, remain consistent. Don't allow anybody to discourage you. There are so many people that have been paid. They have been paid to discourage you. They have been paid to take away your attention. But I urge you in the name of Chukwukabia, do not be discouraged. Always be focused. At the end of the day, we are going to overcome. Definitely, we shall overcome. Let us listen to this message that this house has as Abuja message, and let's listen to what it has to say. Our plight in Nigeria. Whether they like it or not, we will continue to speak. And I bet you, even though they pretend not to hear us, they are hearing us. So let us listen and hear what Asabuja has to say.
I guess all that is called Biafra terrorist organization. How they take it. This man is what you don't call them. If they call Biafra or anything with this name, they get branch for when you stand, they get branch for South Africa, they get branch for Ghana. Those people don't call them. They get branch for UK, for US, where they fight terrorists. US where they fight, no one hear anything, anything gangster, anything evil, anything terrorist, anything. US no one hear. They get office here. They get from Finland. They get office in India. Only Nigeria they call them terrorists. Only Nigeria they call them terrorists. Other countries they call them terrorists. Only Nigeria declare them terrorists. Other countries don't declare them. Other nations all over the world, only Nigeria declare I killed them, never terrorists. But other countries don't declare them. But go for not, different group they for not. They say 5 to 6, 7 for not. And they tell us don't touch them. Don't arrest them. Don't buy them. When they catch them, put them into power. When they catch them, put them into uniform. When they catch them, power. When you catch them, empower them. When you empower your enemy, what is it? Don't empower your enemy. When they put your enemy in power, don't be to come fight you. Don't be to come fight you. When you empower your enemy, they give us strength to come fight. If they give us strength to come and anybody who don't make himself like enemy, you don't go for it. Anybody who don't make himself like enemy, avoid that. And that is something for my heart is still bitter. Nothing you will do to please them. How are they carrying this battalion? This battalion come put into power. Give them out. Then Jesus Christ. You don't go. They gotta see. See people there. See the battalion. See 700 and something. This one are the one where they show us. What of the one where they don't show us? What of the one where we don't see? What of the one where they do for backyard? What of the one where they hide it well? Search this one and then they see the trade. I talk and I say, Igbo man, like ordinary vice president, Igbo man, the man. What you have, what you want, and 100% man. When they get into Nigeria, so the national service, the national Niger member, and use and scatter also will look to unite together. Niger member, service, the use and scatter also will look to unite together. Now the game is so we don't want to come together. But I need this here. That's so but I need to train Nnamdi Kanu. Now Nnamdi Kanu is our problem. Nnamdi Kanu is the problem of service. Nnamdi Kanu is the problem of this. You don't go where.
You have heard him. He has spoken well. He has been very vocal on this, the atrocities of Nigeria against the Igbos. Asabuja has been very vocal, and he always makes his own contribution when he has to. And these are the kind of people that we need to hang on and continue on that path. I wish that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Mazi Ekpa will be in the picture. With their presence, he will have a very big role to play. He will have a very big, and I believe we're going to get there. I just pray that he continues on this very path and maintain his stance the way he is. Once he maintains his stance, at the end of the day, I bet you we shall overcome them. No matter the attack they bring, no matter the challenges, we will overcome them. All we need to do is to hang on. Every one of us, hang on there. Don't give up. We know that the battle is tough. More especially the distraction we are seeing today. It is discouraging. When you open the media and see what Biafrans are doing to themselves, sometimes you'll be wondering, what are they looking for? What do they want? It is heartbreaking, very heartbreaking when we see what is happening. It is heartbreaking. But at the same time, Are we gonna say we're not gonna because of that? No, we will continue doing what we have to do. Every one of us, we still have to continue to fight our battle. We'll continue to face our challenges. We continue have to do what we have to do to make sure that our voice is heard. So never give up, no matter how difficult it is. So once again, I think we are going also to go to their media. We go to their media and also get some updates that's coming from media. As always, every of my evening program, I always bring some information media so that we can be able to know what they are saying and put put a word on those ones when they lie. We can be able to catch them with their lies and debunk it immediately. And when there's information we need to be aware of, we can equally get aware of it. That is why we go to their media. So we have to listen now. Let's see the update that is coming, and we use their media as a point of discussion.
Who has covered the White House Correspondents' dinner on multiple occasions, joins us now from New York. Thank you for joining us, James. How are you doing today?
I'm well, and I'm really just very glad that a number of my friends and colleagues are all well and that no one was injured. It's a real indicator of how law enforcement here can work and protect everyone.
Tell us what we know about the suspect, his identity, his motives. What do we know as we speak?
So we heard about the attack. We heard about the attack on Donald Trump. There was an attempt on the life of Donald Trump. And when you see the way they are making an attempt to take out Donald Trump, you will know that that man has something to offer. If he doesn't have anything to offer, they will not be planning to take his life the way they are planning. But the way they constantly see him as a threat should tell you that that man, Donald Trump, has a very important role to play in the world of today. They made another attempt in his life, and by the special grace of God, he also escaped. So let us listen to the updates they were given. This is an update on that very attack on the life of Donald Trump.
We know that the suspect is a man from California. The name that we've been given is Cole Thomas Allen. He's from Torrance, California. We don't have this officially yet. He is likely to be charged with a crime of violence with assault of a federal officer. That's the first crime that they can charge him with because he did shoot the officer outside the security station who was wearing a bulletproof vest. We know that Mr. Allen studied in California. There are two universities that he attended. He attended Cal State, and he also attended the California Institute of Technology, which is a pretty reputable school. We don't have any motive or any idea of why. We do know that he was a guest in the hotel. The White House Correspondents' Dinner is held in one of the largest ballrooms in Washington. As you can imagine, it's a very large event. And he was a guest in the hotel, and as the event was in progress, he tried to get in, and that's when they discovered that he was armed with lots of weapons, knives, and that he was ready to shoot.
From your perspective, what is the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
The White House Correspondents' Dinner is an annual fundraising event. The White House Correspondents Association are the members of the press, both domestic and international, who cover the U.S. president. And in addition to sort of advocating for the press, there's a very large, generous scholarship fund that allows the association to support interns and to support the development of young journalists in Washington. So this event is a premier event fundraising for the scholarship fund. And what happens, all the media organizations come to Washington for lots of parties, and lots of side events. It's basically like the sort of journalist version of Davos. And it's really quite a packed week. There are parties starting sort of Tuesday night, going through Sunday afternoon. But of course, with this incident last night, which happened just as the salad was being served, the dinner was ended, the after parties were canceled, and there was a real sense of the journalists who were actually, having the dinner and actually being feted, actually had to go to work reporting a story that was just happening right in their midst.
Indeed, a very sad incident. But what does this say about security and also the threat environment in Washington, especially at high-profile political gatherings like this?
Well, generally security at the event is quite clear. Because the president was going to be in attendance, there's Secret Service clearance. You have to go through the bags, just like you're at an airport. But again, because this guest was at the hotel, he was able to get into the area just outside of security because he had access as a guest of the hotel. In general, security at these events are very, very, very good. However, in the past sort of 2 years, there have been several attempts on President Trump's life, which really makes you wonder what is happening at the Secret Service. Why are there so many people with guns getting so close to the U.S. president? And I think that's where the conversation is going to go in the United States. People are really going to want to know, how can this happen again repeatedly? But to be clear, the gunman did not enter the perimeter of the event. The gunman did not get into the secure zone. The guns and the shooting happened outside the security zone. So if there were a place for it to happen, that would probably be the best place.
Indeed, and we saw a picture of the gunman being apprehended by security forces. So where are they in this investigation so far?
Well, in the investigation so far, they've gone through his apartment in California. They've tried to figure out, where is he working alone? Were there other people working with him? And at this point, I think they aren't really sharing much, although we know that they probably have gotten a number of things from him. It appears that he was a game developer, and he was very involved in the development of a game called Boredom. I'm not familiar with that game, but he lived in the suburb of Torrance, California, which is outside of Los Angeles, and he lived in a pretty modest two-story tract home. There are 2 Honda cars parked in his driveway, along with a scooter. He had very few followers on his social media accounts. This is Facebook and LinkedIn. And that's pretty much all we know about him, other than the game that he designed was a skill-based, non-violent, asymmetrical fighting game derived from a chemistry model that is loosely based on reality. The game had no reviews, no followers on its social media accounts before yesterday, and I suspect there are lots of people going there today trying to figure out exactly who this young man is.
Since you've been covering this dinner for a while now, I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you think that being the very first appearance of President Trump, do you think he will be attending the dinner in the nearest future? And also, what was their reaction after the evacuation? That's President Trump and his First Lady, Melania Trump.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite get the question. What's my reaction to what?
Looking at the fact that President Trump is attending this dinner for the first time, do you see him attending again in the nearest future? And also, what was the reaction of the President and the First Lady Melania Trump after evacuation?
Yeah, no, I think this is really quite something. During his first term, President Trump always skipped the dinner. And last year, he also skipped the dinner. But this year, I think in a spirit of cooperation, also his poll numbers are very low at the moment, he decided to attend. There's been a lot of controversy about the dinner. It's a very expensive production to put on. The expense is really related to the fundraising that happens. There are also awards given out to journalists who cover the White House for doing good reporting. But having said that, I think this is a real pivot moment for the organization. I no longer cover the White House, so I'm no longer a member of the association. But I do think people are sort of wondering, do we really need this type of thing? And I'm sorry that this incident with President Trump is likely to bring this to the fore. But do we really need to gather in this way? There's still ways to raise money. And in fact, without the dinner, a lot more money would be raised for the scholarships that the organization gives out. But I do think it is a really sad, tragic, and upsetting coincidence that the first time President Trump decides to attend, there is this skirmish with security and gunshots were fired. That is sad. That has nothing to do with party, politics, or anything. It's just a sad commentary of where we are.
Indeed, still a fluid situation. Hopefully we'll get more on that as it unfolds. James Blue, would like to thank you very much for your thoughts on that. It's good to have you with us as always.
So that is it. That is a report that came for what transpired in the issue of Donald Trump and the attack on him. So it is important that people get the update of what really transpired. And we have to go to the next one. We still have one video more to play to get the pictures of what is happening around the world. And this one, I think this one is an update from the Iran, Israel, the United States war. I think the Secretary of War,
the United States Secretary of War,
made a statement. So I think this one is update from him, from the Secretary of War. Let us also get a briefing on that side. Let's get the updates so that we can know what is happening. Those updates are very important so that we can be able to key in and know what to do, when to do, and how to do what we have to do. Because the world now is a global family, and what will happen is a global issue. So we need to pay attention to all the issues where it concerns us and do what we have to do to secure ourselves and protect ourselves all the time. So let us hear the update that is coming from the Secretary of War in the United States and know what's actually going on. So it's important. It's important. We need to do that.
Well, the United States Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, is about to address journalists at the Pentagon. Let's join you and bring you the updates after.
Our Navy is enforcing this blockade without hesitation or apology. Now, as usual, there's a lot of false information out there. I'll say this, every ship that the U.S. believes meets our criteria, either Iranian ships or to and from Iranian ports, has been turned around. As of this morning, 34 total. Non-Iranian vessels are allowed to transit, and many have, including overnight. Not only is the blockade growing, in fact, a second aircraft carrier will join the blockade in just a few days, but this growing blockade is also gone global. Just this week, we seized 2 Iranian Dark Fleet ships in the Indo-Pacific region that had left Iranian ports before the blockade went into effect. They thought they made it out just in time. They did not. We seized their sanctioned ships, and we will seize more. Our blockade is growing and going global. America's military is unmatched, projecting power, denying passage to adversaries, and protecting our interests at the time and place of our choosing. No one sails from the Strait of Hormuz to anywhere in the world without the permission of the United States Navy. To the regime in Tehran, the blockade is tightening by the hour. We are in control, nothing in, nothing out. Iran's battered military, the IRGC specifically, has been reduced to a gang of pirates with a flag. They cloak their aggression in slogans, but the world now sees them for what they are: criminals on the high seas. They don't control anything. They're acting like pirates, acting like terrorists. They're the ones who lay indiscriminate mines, who shoot at random ships, who killed 45,000 of their own people, innocent protesters in the course of weeks, their own people. They are the bad actors. The vessels that the Iranians seized in recent days, a couple of them, they're not American ships. They're not Israeli ships. They're just random ships that drove where they drove their little speedboats up to and shot at those ships with AK-47s. Anyone with a speedboat, a gun, and the wrong intentions can do that. They know that we, the United States of America, control the flow of global shipping. And we know that they know. Their real navy is at the bottom of the Arabian Gulf. It's worth saying again, for 47 years, Iran has been at war with America, killing our citizens, our soldiers, and our allies, while previous administrations looked the other way. The real endless war is the war that Iran has waged on us for 47 years. President Trump is the only president with the guts and moral clarity to finally do something about it. I see it every day behind closed doors. President Trump's fortitude is unshakable and his mission is crystal clear. President Trump said it again yesterday. We have all the time in the world, and we're not anxious for a deal. And I hear him say it every day in private as well. Iran knows that they still have an open window to choose wisely. As we said previously, choose wisely at the negotiating table. All they have to do is abandon a nuclear weapon in meaningful and verifiable ways, or instead they can watch the regime's fragile economic state collapse under the unrelenting pressure of American power. A blockade as long as it takes, whatever President Trump decides. Because the bottom line remains the bottom line. Iran will never get a nuclear bomb. The choice is theirs, but with this blockade, the clock is not on their side. Moreover, President Trump has authorized the United States Navy to destroy any Iranian fast boats that attempt to put mines in the water or disrupt passage through the Strait of Hormuz, to shoot and kill. Our commanders have clear rules of engagement. If Iran is putting mines in the water or otherwise threatening American commercial shipping or American forces, we will shoot to destroy. No hesitation, just like the drug boats in the Caribbean. It's also worth saying, this should not be America's fight alone. We barely use the Strait of Hormuz as a country. Our energy doesn't flow through there, and we have plenty of energy. Just look at the new global Congo line headed to Texas, a beautiful picture. Europe and Asia have benefited from our protection for decades, but the time for free riding is over. America and the free world deserve allies who are capable, who are loyal, and who understand that being an ally is not a one-way street. It's a two-way. We are not counting on Europe, but they need the Strait of Hormuz much more than we do, and might want to start doing less talking and having less fancy conferences in Europe and get in a boat. This is much more their fight than ours. On this core mission, America's will is unshakable, our capabilities unmatched. Our blockade is only growing and going global. And as the president said, we have all the time in the world. Iran has a historic chance to make a serious deal, and the ball is in their court. Either way, the War Department stands ready for what comes next, locked and loaded. May God continue to bless our warriors each and every day and on each and every mission. Mr. Chairman, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Today marks 55 days since the President of the United States ordered major combat operations against Iran. Today and this morning, the Joint Force remains postured and prepared to recommence major combat operations on the order of the President. On April 8th, the President announced a ceasefire, and last week, at the President's direction and on order of the Secretary, U.S. CENTCOM began enforcing a blockade against all commercial vessels going into and out of Iran and their ports. Simultaneously, the U.S. military, in support of the U.S. Department of Justice, was ordered to conduct maritime interdiction operations against sanctioned and dark fleet vessels globally. This operation also began on April 8th. And what I'd like to do this morning is update all of you on those actions and activities. First, as I mentioned, U.S. Central Command continues to maintain a strict blockade on all the ports. We're enforcing the blockade across the board against any ship of any nationality that is transiting to or from any port or territory. We're closely tracking vessels of interest headed towards Iran and those moving away from Iran that were outside the blockade area when this blockade was ordered. And as everyone saw this past weekend, we're prepared and postured to intercept them. As of this morning, 34 ships have met the U.S. blockade and made the wise choice to turn around. One ship did not, and that ship was the motor vessel Tuska. Over several hours this past Sunday, April 19th, the U.S. conducted maritime interdiction operations against the Tuska, whose crew attempted to breach the blockade line. The Tuska is a large container ship, about 965 feet long, or about the same size as a United States Navy aircraft carrier, and over 100 feet wide. The operation began about 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time when the United States Navy destroyer approached her, and the crew and the vessel ignored warnings. And I've described how the destroyer force is operating in the area prior. Upon intercept and coming within visual range, American forces began to issue several clear and unambiguous warnings and inform the vessel and their crew that they were in a violation of the U.S. blockade and directed the ship to turn around. Over a 6-hour period, the vessel and her crew repeatedly ignored U.S. warnings. And then the U.S. Navy destroyer executed a series of pre-planned, carefully calibrated escalation options, including firing 5 warning shots. The vessel and her crew continued to ignore warnings. And after exhausting all other measures, CENTCOM authorized disabling fire against the Tuska. U.S. sailors warned the crew of the Tuska to abandon the engine room, and at approximately 9 a.m. Eastern Time, the destroyer disabled the Tuska's engine by firing 9 inert rounds from the destroyer's Mark 45 5-inch guns precisely into the engine room and engine space on board the Tuska. Not surprisingly, the vessel then reported issues with their engine, went dead in the water, and began to comply with U.S. directions and orders. At 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, CENTCOM ordered United States Marines to seize the ship. Via helicopters, U.S. Marines maneuvered quickly to the disabled ship, boarded her from fast ropes via helicopter infiltration methods, and took custody of the ship. The ship and her crew remain safe in U.S. custody today. Let me now turn to global operations in the Pacific, and I want to highlight that this is a major interagency effort between the United States military, the White House, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Department of Justice. On Monday, April 20th, U.S. Indo-PACOM forces, in support of a Department of Justice request, interdicted the motor tanker Tiffany, which was transporting sanctioned Iranian oil. The Tiffany is a very large crude tanker, VLCC for short, and is also about the size of a U.S. aircraft carrier and capable of transporting approximately 2 million barrels of oil. At approximately 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S. military forces and law enforcement forces also went to the ship via rotary wing platforms, fast roped onto her deck, and secured her. After the ship was secured, a U.S. Navy control team embarked aboard the Tiffany, and assumed control of the ship at 4 a.m. Eastern Time on April 21st. A Navy control team is comprised of sailors led by a boarding officer that assumes control of a seized ship in order to secure the crew, the cargo, and the vessel. And disposition of that first vessel is still pending. The next interdiction occurred on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, 22 April, when Indo-PACOM conducted yet another interdiction, again at the request of the U.S. Department of Justice. This time, the stateless motor tanker Majestic X, also known as the Ponix, also in the Indian Ocean. This is again a VLCC, or very large crude tanker. At approximately 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, U.S. forces began the interdiction, again using rotary wing assets to get to the ship, got on board, and secured the bridge. Both ships, the Tiffany, the Majestic X, and their crews remain in U.S. custody. And we will continue to conduct similar maritime interdiction actions and activities in the Pacific and Indian Oceans against Iranian ships and vessels of the Dark Fleet. The actions by our service members and our law enforcement partners demonstrate the incredible discipline and dedication and professionalism of our joint force and highlight the global reach of American combat power. The joint force remains on ensuring the Iranian regime cannot harm our interests or those of our allies and partners. And I'll highlight that Iran has repeatedly sought to offensively and proactively expand the conflict by aggression against its neighbors and its attacks on global shipping through the Strait. To date, Iran has attacked 5 merchant vessels, seized 2 of them that were attempting to transit the Strait. And these include ships that Iran itself had cleared to proceed. Now, as I always do, I want to honor members of the Joint Force. Today, I want to highlight and proudly describe the essential role of our intelligence enterprise and the role that they play in conducting our military operations. The totality of their work is the culmination of days, months, and in many cases, years of work by our uniform and civilian intelligence professionals. We have been able to do the work that we are ordered to do because America's intelligence force, including our core collectors and analysts, have spent decades searching for every loose thread. From the determination of a particular intelligence requirement to that piece of intelligence being collected in the field by a military or interagency case officer to the rigorous analysis that goes into reporting on that finding, those team members spend their careers answering the incredibly important questions that we must attempt to answer before, during, and after operations. They live in the enemy's mind. Normally located behind the green door, behind the vault door, in dark, windowless rooms across the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, are world-class intel members from DIA, our service intelligence components, NSA, NGA, CIA, NRO, and in the case of the operations that I've just described, the Office of Naval Intelligence, all work tirelessly to sift through the mountains of collected information using tools, tactics, techniques, and procedures that I'm not going to discuss today. The sun never sets on these world-class professionals, and their goal is every minute of every day to be on the account. And they know the enemy. They know their combat capability, their weapons, their industrial and economic systems, and they know their leaders' pattern of life, where they go, what they think, and what they do. Thanks to their work, we know Iran, and it is an incredible work that they do. Again, none of our operations that we've conducted during my time in this job could have been done without the service of these intelligence professionals. And the distance from those core collectors and those analysts to those Patriot crews who are defending U.S. forces forward or the fighter pilots is incredibly small. Every single day, as their mottos say, they are committed to excellence in the defense of the nation and to securing the future, and they're doing the work of the nation. Before I close, as I do every time, I want to highlight and remember our fallen. Today, I want to highlight the 63 victims of the terrorist bombing of the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, which occurred 43 years ago, just a few days ago, on April 18th, 1983. At that time, this was the deadliest attack on a U.S. diplomatic mission, and this was the first attack conducted by Iranian-backed forces on Americans. The suicide bomber detonated a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device out in front of the embassy, killing 63 innocent people, including 32 Lebanese, 14 visitors, and 17 Americans. And among those lost, members of the Joint Force to include 3 Army soldiers and 1 United States Marine. We remember their names: Sergeant First Class Richard Twine, Staff Sergeant Ben Maxwell, Staff Sergeant Mark Salazar, and United States Marine Corporal Vincent McMaw. Today we remember them. We carry on their memory and the memory of all our fallen, and remain grateful for their sacrifice and that of their families, who continue to show us what courage looks like. As we continue to press forward and maintain these operations, the Secretary, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and I are deeply humbled by the spirit, tenacity, and commitment and grit of the 2.8 million members of our Joint Force. The Secretary and I thank every member of the Joint Force engaged in this operation, every warrior who remains deployed or who is supporting from here at home. Thank you to, and thank you to your families. Sir, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll take a few questions.
Thank you. In your estimation, have there been increased or decreased instances of Iranian vessels either approaching or trying to breach the blockade the longer it is in effect? And another question about the mine threat. Has the mine threat been neutralized enough to facilitate freer flow in the straits?
Well, to the second question, first of all, we are seeing vessels transit. There are paths that are open. And part of what the president is threatening is ensuring if there's attempts to recklessly and irresponsibly lay more mines, we're going to deal with that. It's a violation of the ceasefire. So transit is occurring, much more limited than anybody would like to see, and with more risk than people would like to see. But that's because Iran is doing irresponsible things with small, fast boats, crafts, like I said, with weapons on them. These are commercial ships, in some cases, cruise ships that came through being threatened by these. So as far as breaching the blockade, it's been a pretty consistent, or a number of ships at the beginning. Then you had the interdiction that the chairman described, where we took out the engine room and disabled that ship. I think that sent a very clear sign that this is not a fake blockade. This is a real, full blockade. We'll use up to and including lethal force if necessary. And that stopped, and other ships have taken note of that. So any ships that have attempted, there's been levels of escalation, but none that far, and they've turned around. Absolutely. Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman. David Zia, Real America's Voice. To follow up on Alexandra's question, how big are these mine-laying boats? Can they be achieved from fast boats? And I want to follow up my last week question about as jet fuel stocks in Europe reportedly are only about 6 weeks left. They get most of the jet fuel from the Gulf. Have any European countries reached out to assist in cordoning off the strait and participating in escorts?
I know there's a lot of talks. You saw I would call it a silly conference in Europe last week, where they got together and talking about maybe doing something eventually when things are done. Those are not serious efforts yet. We would welcome that. We would welcome a serious European effort to do something about this strait and this passage, considering it's their energy capabilities that are most at stake. I think it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call for countries around the world. Either you have capabilities or you don't. Otherwise, you're at the behest of a country like Iran, and the only country that can do something about it is the United States military. You want to talk about the mines and the small crafts?
They have a variety of smaller Boston whaler-sized boats. We have forces up there deterring and preventing them from continuing to do that. We'll continue to do so pursuant to the orders of the Secretary and the President.
But reckless mining like that is a violation of
unwise
the
to do that,
and very unwise to do. Absolutely, Jerry.
Thank you. Pope Leo has made some strident comments about the war in Iran, and the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops recently put out a statement suggesting that the war does not fit the requirements of just war theory. And I wondered if the Pentagon had thought about this war against the terrorist regime in Iran in terms of the framework of a just war, and if either one of you could talk about that. And then just my second question would be, the Pentagon recently, this week, gave well-deserved award upgrades to the members of Gulf Company 2-1 Marines who served at HKI and Abbey Gate during the withdrawal and evacuation. I wonder if you, Mr. Secretary, can speak a little bit about that and maybe give us a little bit more in terms of what to expect from this Afghanistan review in terms of further proper recognition and proper accountability.
On the first question, Pope's going to do his thing, that's fine. We know what our mission is. We know what authority we have. We're very clear about that. We follow that. The orders of the president, we've got lawyers all over the place looking at what we're doing and why we're doing it, and giving us every authority necessary under the Constitution and under our laws to execute it. So we feel very confident across the spectrum about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and the legal justification that we're following in order to do it. You mentioned the Marines at Abbey Gate, and what we've undertaken at this department is a historic Afghanistan review. So we have, over the course of months, reviewed what happened leading up to and including the events at Abbey Gate and the disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan. There's never actually been a full accounting in this department of the decisions that were made. There's been sort of papered over congressional attempts, but never a real deep dive where we brought everybody in to talk about what happened and why it happened. That has happened. That review will come later this summer, and I think you'll find it to be probably the most comprehensive review this department has ever done about a single series of events. And it's because the cascading effect of what Joe Biden did in abandoning that mission the way that he did, and that disastrous withdrawal, had ripple effects for our military, for our country, and for the world. That's why reestablishing deterrence is one of the core pillars of what we've been doing at the War Department, because the world looked at that disaster and made choices. Vladimir Putin made choices. Hamas made choices and saw that America wouldn't do anything about it. Houthis shot at ships. They made choices because Joe Biden and his administration were seen as feckless and weak. And that withdrawal was a part of what the world saw. People hanging to planes as we fled. That deserves a full account, which is exactly what we're doing. Sean Parnell, our chief spokesman, one of my senior advisors, has been leading that effort, getting to the bottom of it. And one of the revelations was that those Marines at Abbey Gate who showed courage, who were out there exposed, knew there was a threat, nebulous mission, only gate that's open, did not receive the kind of proper recognition they should have for their heroism. So one of the early results of this Afghan review is to ensure they get the due recognition and award they deserve for the heroism and courage they showed at that gate. Despite the bad decisions of this building and that administration, those Marines acted heroically, and we're going to recognize them for that. Sure. Thank you. Yeah, right here.
Thank you. Michael Casey, Phil Keeping You. Earlier this week, the James Oak published a story on Department of Army Chief Andrew Hugg, who revealed top secret national security information to a stranger he met on a dating app. Will you defer Mr. Hugg for termination and prosecution?
Yeah, he won't work here anymore.
And given the revelations, will any changes be made to the current anti-espionage training for all Department of War employees now, given this?
Well, we're always on the lookout for CI threats, any internal threats, anyone talking out of school about things they should not. We take them very seriously here, informally or formally, which is why some of the reporting done by some of the people in here is incredibly problematic. They're willing to publish things based on classified information that would potentially harm those in harm's way. And we think them doing so is incredibly irresponsible and unpatriotic. And it would encourage members of the press to think twice about the lives they're affecting when they publish things in their publications like the New York Times. Yes, right here.
Was the Cusco carry put into China?
Sir, so I'm sorry, the question's right here.
Thank you. Ryan Morgan with the Epic Times. Earlier this week, on that topic, there was a report, I believe, with the Washington Post that the Pentagon had briefed Congress that it could take up to 6 months to fully sweep the Strait of Hormuz for mines. I was wondering if you could comment a little bit more on the specifics of the timeline, the range of time that it could take, and then just a general idea of how many mines have been placed.
We would not speculate on a timeline. I saw that report. It was based on, again, another leak from a closed-door session, which was supposed to be classified, and apparently, allegedly, that was something that was said. we feel confident in our ability in the correct period of time to clear any mines that we identify. And would encourage other countries to be a part of such an effort as well. But we're tracking that very closely. Mr. Chairman, do you want to add anything to that?
No, sir. I think
Right here, new members of our press here.
Jacob Wasserman with TMZ DC. We have two questions. I'm going to ask the first. My colleague will ask the second. You know, I've heard you talk a lot about Sorry?
We'll see.
Okay. I've heard you talk a lot about bombing people, places, and when you give these orders to carry out this extreme level of violence, what's going through your mind and your body? Do you have like an adrenaline rush? Are you scared? Do you feel like you're on power trip? Just this through and paint this picture of what it feels like mentally and physically.
It's a very TMZ question. My only thought process is to ensure that our warfighters have everything they need to be successful, defeat, destroy the enemy, and they come home. I want them to feel empowered, to have every authority they need within our rules and within our law to bring maximum violence to the enemy. Because war is violent, war requires doing difficult things, but I want our people to feel empowered, so it's our guys that come home and their guys that do not. Sure, I'll give you one chance.
Charlie Cotton from Team ZDC. You changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War. Would you consider changing the name again to the Department of Peace, since that's what we're all after?
Well, that's the pursuit. It's a great question, actually. You go from defense to war because you want to be proactive about peace through strength. And really, I gave a speech in front of generals about what the ethos of the War Department is all about, because I wanted to go through every echelon of this department. It means something. It's not just words. And when you fight a war the right way, the idea is on the other side, you bring about peace. That is what we'd like to see the most. In fact, I once did a video about the one institution that should win the Nobel Peace Prize every single year is the United States military, because we are the guarantor of the safety and security of not just of our country, but of a lot of people in this world. Last question. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. I do appreciate your time. Since February 28, 725 drones and missiles have hit the Kurdistan region as your loyal ally, killing 22 people and injuring 100 others. Even after the ceasefire, Mr. Secretary, 20 more attacks were carried out. My question is, does that ceasefire include Iraq and the Kurdistan region? And really, what is your clear policy toward proxies? Why I'm asking this question, by President Massoud Barzani's statement, 5 times targeting his office, even targeting President of Kurdistan region residents in the Hawk City.
We watch it very closely, and that area and those folks, the Kurds, deal with a lot of what the IAMGs or the proxies are capable of doing. And a reminder of the reverberating effect of this Iranian regime. It's not just what it does to its own people, killing 45,000 of its own citizens just recently, but it's also the terror they've brought to the region. And so getting a good deal and making sure they can't wield a nuclear weapon over top of those proxies is why this mission is such an important one. Thank you very much.
So that is all we have on the updates on the war that is going on between United States, Israel, and Iran. It's something that concerns us. You can't run away from it. This is an international issue. Just like the blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, you can see how it's affecting the whole world. So each time we will be paying attention to what is going on and how things are being done. And you can see the Secretary of War giving the updates on what is happening, how far they have gone, and no relenting. So we pray that the issue will be resolved as soon as possible. And one thing again, while we are paying attention, is that I strongly believe that the war in Iran today is one of the things that is delaying the action of the United States against Nigerian government, because they wouldn't want to get involved in so many issues. The issue of Strait of Hormuz is already giving them a handful of issues. So I believe they want to put that to an end, and then Nigeria will be the next. So that is why we are paying attention. We are, more especially we the Biafrans, we are paying close attention to them because we really need the intervention of the US in the issue, in our case with Nigeria. United States is going to do a lot of work. They will play a very big role there. So that is why it is important that we pay attention to what is happening in the United States and the war that's going on between Iran and Israel. It is very important. So my fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you that have joined us on today's program. And remember, tomorrow is Monday, a special day as always, a day we remember our seat at home, a day we demand the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a day we reject Nigeria and everything it has to offer. So tomorrow we are still going to have a special program on the seat at home. Try to join us early tomorrow morning so that we can be able to hit it out and do justice to the program. So wherever you are watching from, as we close today's sermon, let us remember, history is shaped by those who choose to speak and those who choose to act. Let us choose peace. Let us choose justice. Let us choose truth. And above all, let us never lose our humanity. Let us never lose our humanity. Thank you all for watching wherever you are watching, and may peace guide us all. I appreciate every one of you. Always remember, the time to pay attention is now. The time to seek for justice is now. And the time to act responsibly is now. Thank you for watching, and see you again tomorrow morning by the grace of Skokara. Good night, everybody.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. There was a nation living in peace and unity. Yeah. They are people with love and harmony. Oh, yeah. They saw greatness rise up to its purity. With another people of different culture, ideal and heritage, bias and oppressive. Oh, I see. A nation from trigger of Africa, rising with strength and might and power. In due time, nobody gonna praise us. Rather, you all gonna embrace her. With your flag, with your flag, with your flag, with your flag. Oh, yeah. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home. Oh yeah, Biafra is our home. Oh, it's my home. Yeah, Biafra is our home.
I reminisce way back 1967. Death toll and the blood couldn't count them even. Mama screaming, child squealing, pups on the ground. 2.5 years, over 3 million's gone. Why? Cause we asked for our freedom, and we're going back to our sovereign kingdom. They shut us down when we cried, the world said nothing. Sitting back in the crib, watching our suffering. Should I talk about the planes dropping shells like rain? Suka had the first taste of a hero's blood. Abagana Zobuni wave was stronger than flood, but the juke is too strong and fought them off on the chart. Thought the bloodshed's gone, then it came again. 216 and the massacre, it started again. So bloody name, I couldn't cry tears. Blood dripping down my eyes, water in my veins. We died trying to fight the cause and we're trying to break him. It's our freedom, but the world was against us.
Wave your flag over Africa. Welcome people of Biafra. Wave your flag over all the world. See those people of Zion is here.
It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion. It is the nation that the Lord has chosen for the people of Zion.
We need peace, we choose freedom. We need peace, we choose freedom. Hey. Let the tears of our mothers who lost their children be heard. Let the blood of our heroes speak from now till forever. Let the whole wide world know Biafra is our home.